Another move, so I guess, moving on, not quite under the radar move. A lot of people have been paying attention to it, but a move that probably surprised a lot of people was Panthers releasing Cam Newton, not even being able to trade him.
Uh, you know, talk about untradeable. I mean, everybody's been calling Cam Newton untradeable for what the last 2 years. So yeah. And maybe that's due to his, you know, more flamboyant attitude, which is fine as long as you're the starter. If you're going to have that flamboyant attitude as a backup, it's not going to work. I mean, look what happened to. And now I love Tim Tebow. Look what happened to him in New England. It was a media circus. If Cam Newton goes somewhere and is backup, you know the media's going to be there trying to get him to be in his normal self.
That's why I think the Chargers are such a good spot. I mean, what else they got to put in their media right now? You know.
Yeah, but I
5,000
guess like
fans
my thing with
at the
Cam
stadium.
Newton is I don't think Cam Newton's gonna be willing to take a backup contract. The dude was just earning
Right.
he was scheduled this year to make a little over $21 million. The highest paid backup in the league last year was Teddy Bridgewater with the Saints, who earned just over 7 million. So that's a third of what Cam Newton was making. So is he gonna be willing to take that pay cut? Because he's definitely not getting more than that. No team's going to pay him 10 million or more to be a backup or even be a guy that they think might start, right? There's not a lot of teams that need him. And so, if a team was one quarterback away from, going to the Super Bowl this year, I could see them wanting to sign him, but there really aren't those teams. The teams that are going to compete this year have a quarterback, and if he's not willing to take a backup contract, then like where's he gonna go? Is he gonna if San Diego offers him 5 million, is he gonna be willing to go to San Diego?
San Diego.
Ah, LA.
I did it. I did it earlier. No, yeah, okay. You know, the quarterback situation this year is really unfortunate because the market is saturated and many teams don't need them.
You know, thinking of the draft, I mean,
right, absolutely.
All down the draft.
Which, I mean, that's a developmental thing. You can have a rookie sit as a backup because they are just happy to be in the league. Cam Newton, who's played in the Super Bowl and was a league MVP, if I remember correctly here.
2015.
Exactly.
Also, you have
For
to
him to
think,
suddenly be a backup, that's a huge culture change.
and you also have to
I think
think,
the interesting thing is looking at the moves is the Chargers. I mean, for how quiet you haven't really heard them talk about much, is they've made a lot of moves. They put a lot of money out this offseason. I mean, 30 million to a tackle, Eckler 25 million, Chris Harris 17. I mean, Linval Joseph was 17. I mean, they're putting that. I can't imagine they have much cap to be throwing out extra quarterbacks. You know.
But
well,
what
and
happens
two is, do you think
that's another Cam Newton situation.
with Cam Newton, we just talked about with the draft, the Chargers have the sixth spot in the draft. A lot of people think they're going to take Herbert there. Is Cam Newton the guy that you want mentoring your rookie QB, or would you rather have Tyrod Taylor? Because I'd rather have Taylor. Cam Newton's been very.
Absolutely.
Cam Newton is not your average quarterback, and he never has been, and I don't think he's ever going to be. That'll never be his style. So which guy would you rather teach Herbert? And again, like, are you going to be able to sign? If you draft Herbert, maybe you sit him this year, but there's no way he sits 2 years. Is Cam Newton going to take a 1 year contract knowing that he's gone next year for not a lot of money and be willing to be the mentor that you need him to be? No. And I don't blame teams for not.
I think I mostly agree, but I think a lot. I mean, not a lot, but I think Cam Newton also kind of gets bad reps sometimes with like team chemistry and stuff like that. He's a little wild in interviews and whatnot. But if you look at like the players who say goodbye to him and everything, like Cam Newton's a player's guy. You know, like
well, I mean, he was a runner-up for Walter.
I'm not sure about Herbert, you know, but I'm sure a lot of young guys would love to hang out with Cam Newton and be
Yeah,
around him as he works.
they would probably love to hang out with Cam Newton, but it's not necessarily the guy that you want mentoring your young players. You want a quarterback who's under control when he's on the field at all times. Cam Newton hasn't always been that guy. You don't want a quarterback who out there who makes, is causing fights. And Cam Newton, takes a lot of big hits because he pisses a lot of people off with his attitude. Not necessarily the.
You want a quarterback that goes out there and lays out on the fumble, right?
Right, and that too,
Yeah.
And then again, I just keep going back. I don't think Cam Newton's going to be willing to take less money, and he doesn't deserve the money right now. And it's the same thing again. Like, I love Jameis Winston. The dude threw for 5,000 yards last season, but he's going to have to take a backup job this year. He's going to have to take less money, and I don't see Cam Newton being, with his who he is as a person. I don't think Cam Newton's going to be willing to do that.
You know what I think you were saying it the other night. The best possibility for probably him or Jameis Winston is if we get into a couple games in the year and Big Ben isn't feeling good again or not performing, looking a little old. Because like the Steelers are that team who like they don't have a future right now for quarterback unless they draft somebody. So I mean, they definitely could. And their team is a good team. I mean, they're on the cusp of the playoffs with Devin Hodges at quarterback. So I mean, Big Ben gets hurt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, especially for Jameis, I think that's a great line spot because I think Jameis might be.
He'll probably take the strong deal.
Yeah, I think Jameis Winston will be more willing to take that backup deal at this point in his career. It's a little easier for Winston because Winston's only 26, so you sit for 2 years and you're Winston, then you come out 28 and now you're a starter. Right now, Cam Newton's about to turn 31. If you're 31, you can't afford to sit for 2 years, especially with someone his style of play. Because like we can bring up the passing numbers, he's never been that great of a passer. In fact, his passing numbers are pretty comparable to Tyrod Taylor's. But what has Cam Newton always brought to the field, and that's athleticism. But is he going to be that athletic even now at 31 after having a foot injury all year? But is he going to be that athletic in 2 years when after he sits and tries to wait for another chance to start? Probably not.
No. And that's the biggest problem with these athletic quarterbacks. A la Tua's injury.
A la RG3.
Right. They get into these injuries more often. What happens, if Cam Newton gets hurt, during this season? It makes more sense that he would sit out a year.
Yeah.
But he's completely healthy now,
I think that's
where's he going to go? Where's he going to go?
He's pretty much on a contract year. He's finally healthy. He's in a locker room saying, "They gave up on me." Listen to gospel music as he's working out, man. I mean, like, you just got to get your blood pumping. Like, as a fan, you kind of just want to. I mean, I don't exactly love Cam Newton, but the storyline, like, I'd love for Cam Newton to just go tear it up and then tell Matt Rule to screw himself.
Yeah, and Matt Rule's not gonna care because Matt Rule's rebuilding. You know what I mean? Matt Rule's gonna say, "Okay, I'll see you in 5 years, and we'll see who's more successful." Chances are it's probably gonna be Matt
If
Rule.
I'm not mistaken, it's Matt Rule, and then it's the coordinator from LSU, right? What's
Yes.
Joe something.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
So
real interesting. I mean,
the author of all my nightmares.
yeah, and again, like I kind of agree with you. I'm not a huge Cam Newton fan. I think he's good enough to be on an NFL roster, but I think where we disagree is I don't think Cam Newton has the skill set anymore to prove people wrong.
Has that much left in the tank?
Yeah, I just don't think he does.
He's in great shape. If he can stay healthy, he can be a weapon either way. My thing is, when was the last time we saw him throw the football back into VP season?
Yeah, I mean, like, he in 2018, he had decent numbers. It was actually he had his highest completion percentage ever. He was on pace to throw for the most yards, most likely in his career, other than his rookie season. And so yeah, he had that going for him. But I think people misconstrue just how good Cam Newton was because he won that MVP. But Cam Newton played there was 9 seasons where Cam Newton was the starter going into the season. Only 3 of those seasons were winning seasons. He's only won 3 playoff games in his career. Yeah, he won the MVP in 2015, but in the Super Bowl, he didn't even dive on a football, right? He wasn't willing to go in there and get that football. And then you look at like his numbers. He's only hit more than or passed for more than 4,000 yards once in his career. He's only passed for more than 24 touchdowns once in his career. He's never had less than 10 interceptions in a season. Again, he's only had 3 winning seasons. His career passing percentage, completion percentage is under 60%. And in fact, he only has 2 seasons where it was above 60 at all. Those aren't the numbers of a guy who at 31 is going to go prove a team wrong. Those are the guys of someone who had a solid career, had one good year where he won the MVP. He was athletic. Now he's 31. Now he's going to go be a mentor to some guy. But that's not Cam Newton's personality. And so that's why I think the biggest flaw is that he's not going to take that backup contract. He's not going to be that mentor to someone. And at this point, I just don't think it's worth paying him money.